Andor, Season 1, Episode 3. The title of this episode was Reckoning, and it was a part of the 3-episode premiere. We are reviewing all episodes individually to give them their proper due. Plus, the 3-episode premiere, all in one shot, would be like a 4-hour video. So, here we are. Now, if you don't know how it works, I'm going to break it down for you. We have little scores right here, if you see little scores. And if we like something, we're going to give it an upvote. And if we dislike something, we're going to give it a downvote. And at the very end of the review, we're going to average those numbers to become the official score for this episode of Star Wars Andor, Episode 3, The Reckoning. Or, I'm sorry, just Reckoning. Shane, what did you think about this episode, man?
Well, it's the best of the 3.
Okay.
For sure. I think, we got a lot of backstory. I still believe that all 3 of these first episodes should have probably just been one episode. So overall, I think this is going to get us to a place where we're like, okay, I see where this show is going. We start out here with young Cassian, flashback scene. He's actually going into the ship of the people that killed his kid leader. And he angrily starts breaking things because he's mad.
Me mad, me break things. Oh.
Yeah, so he's obviously got a lot of pent-up frustration. He gets, for the first time ever, he's seeing a bunch of technology he doesn't understand. All he knows is he wants to destroy it.
It looks very good. It looks like Star Wars. It looks very imperial. Oh, and this massive thing looks rad, bro. So cool looking.
Good visuals.
Oh yeah. Yeah, really cool looking. I said that in the first review. I was like, it looks great. It just doesn't feel great, and it's very hard to explain. Like it has the Star Wars feeling and look, but it doesn't quite feel like I'm watching Star Wars. It looks like I'm watching Star Wars, but I don't really get the Star Wars vibe. I think it might be the pacing or the characters or something. Maybe I'm just not. Maybe I don't care about the characters yet. I don't know.
Well, they're also not operating in space, which is something that we're usually familiar with Star Wars. You get a lot more space stuff.
At least the transitions are usually in space. Yeah.
Right. This Airbus landing is really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
I love how they do this. It's very realistic. It's beat up. Yeah, I'm going to give it an upvote for just
me too.
The whole look is so wonderful.
This whole opening thing is really cool. I love this Airbus. Like, I officially want to ride this ride at some point in Disneyland, please.
Oh, right. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Galaxy's Edge. Okay. Oh, so go ahead and explain what's going on. I'm not going to step on your toes again.
I mean, basically, so Luthen gets off the Airbus. We finally get rid of that old guy who kind of was seemed pointless to the entire story. Luthen has obviously been here before because Bix said he had been here before. And now they're having this little conversation. It looks like they're trying to keep it pretty covert. And she tells Luthen where Cassian will be waiting for him.
Okay. Imperials.
And of course, the troops police are coming.
You're saying it wrong. It's the Goober Squad, remember?
Yeah, that's the name you came up with for them. Yes.
Yeah, they're the Goober Squad, bro. Like these are all the kids that would rat you out for smoking outside the gym under the bleachers for no reason.
Because it's the wrong thing to do, bro.
It's wrong. Yeah, I know this droid is supposed to be like.
Okay, did you see that transition?
Yes, that was a cool transition.
So upvote that. It's fantastic because we needed to see that B2 emo is a beat up, jacked up droid, and then we get this wonderful transition to when he's basically brand new,
right
before hard times. Ooh. And it takes us into the flashback,
right,
where Maarva has now entered the vessel that crash landed, and she's coming to basically steal salvage. They're stealing basically from this crash ship before the Empire can show up.
Right.
So we see a younger Maarva, and now we learn how Cassian ends up with Maarva, basically.
Okay.
The Imperial ships are coming, and Maarva won't leave him to die, even though the guy that's with Maarva wants her to not do this. She's like, I'm just not going to do it. And then we also learn from that conversation that that the rest of his people are going to be killed when the Empire finds out what happened.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, why would I know this is a common thing, but like, why would the Empire just like kill a bunch of kids?
Well, because they're going to blame them for this happening.
They're going to blame them for the ship going down?
Well, they're going to blame, they might, but they definitely came in and interacted. And plus the kid destroyed part of the ship inside. Plus the little girl leader came in and the kids essentially killed those two guys.
Yeah. Seems thin. A bunch of them died before they even got there.
I mean, they were defending themselves, but, you know.
Right.
She left the impression that the Empire is going to punish them.
Yeah, Empire is just evil. Yeah, I get it.
Yep.
The Goober
transport.
The Goober Squad needs to lay off the In-N-Out cheeseburgers, dude. Like, this is the security force, and I'm not even sure how both those guys got out of the vehicle at the same time. Goodness gracious, bro. It looks like Patton Oswalt and Patton Oswalt's uglier and meaner cousin.
Right.
Goobers. Oh my god, this looks beautiful though, right? Like, oh, and it looks like they're building AT-AT. See that?
Oh yeah, you're right. That's cool.
Yeah, super rad.
Upvote that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
getting a little bit of Star Wars lore there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Where did they build? I was curious, like, where did they build them at?
Now we know.
Here's Brasso.
Oh, we're back to the flashback. Let's get back to it. Shit.
She has to like sedate him to get him off because he won't leave.
Right. You know, they did a good job on her makeup because she does look a lot older, you know, in the present than she does in that past.
Agreed.
Of course, the Goober Squad comes to her house. Hello, ma'am. Would you like to buy some of our tracks?
We have a warrant for Cassian Andor. She should have been like, who?
Who's that? Okay, moving along. Yeah, they're gonna like tear it apart. Tear everything apart.
They're tearing his room apart. Yeah.
Just to be clear, they are looking for a person, right?
Yes, but if you can't find him, you should destroy everything that he owns.
But real quick, a person can't fit in that little crate that they just poured out, right?
What? No, they can't. You're right.
Okay. And what's the purpose of that right there?
It's called threatening and intimidating.
I don't understand what they're doing though. Like, is it solely for the purpose of just like angering this person?
I think it's to intimidate her to tell them what they want to know. We're going to keep destroying your stuff until you tell me what I want to know.
This is really sort of dumb.
Tell us where to find him. Look, yeah, you can stop this anytime if you want by telling us where to find him.
Well, then they should have just been destroying it. Like, what are they looking for? Like, it's so stupid.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. It's dumb. The Goober Squad's horrible. Like, I don't like them.
No, of course they're terrible. And they better play a point in the future or else this was all pointless.
Right.
It's like she says, you don't have to tell him anything. And then he like covers her mouth. I'm like, what the heck's going on here?
Yeah, it's so weird.
And then of course Cassian's calling the droid to, so they know he's out there somewhere, and they triangulate his communication and start heading toward him.
Right. The Goober Squad's coming. But you know what? I'm not worried because I'm pretty sure Cassius can just outrun them. And not even like a fast run. He can just like a brisk walk, and he would be fine.
It does become pretty comical soon.
Yeah.
And of course, Cassian meets in this place, and Luthen meets with him. I got to tell you, Stellan Skarsgård is just really a wonderful actor. You know, he really adds a lot of gravitas, some reality, some. It really brings a lot of credibility to this show.
Yeah.
Really like him.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, he's really good. The Skarsgård legacy is strong.
It is, yeah. So he wants 40,000 credits. He's like, how could it be worth that much? And it becomes pretty obvious here that this guy's not really here for the stuff. He's here for Cassian.
Right.
And you got these locals that are like banging on
they're warning
metal.
them.
It's like a warning. Are they warning? You know, I got interesting because like the first couple of people they show, like you see like it's people they might know, but then it becomes like a whole bunch of people start doing it. So does everybody know what Cassian's doing, or are they just following along because they see the police in the streets?
I just think that I think no one trusts the Goober Squad.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so they're all letting them know. They're warning them that the Goober Squad is on the way.
And that was dumb. Everybody's excited.
You should start a brisk pace because the Goober Squad's coming.
Well, and it's dumb because they stop this girl. They stop Bix when everybody else is freaking out and doing weird stuff, but they stop her for some reason.
Right.
Not running home, are we?
I'm actually going to downvote that because how do they know who she is?
It is a downvote. It's not good.
Right. Goober Squad. It's a long exchange.
But it's good. So this actually sets up what this entire story is about. Obviously, Luthen wants Cassian to join the rebel cause because he's talented. He was able to go in to an Empire facility and steal something right under their noses. And he wants him to go with him. Is that Bix's boyfriend?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, so listen, Tim here.
Tim with two M's.
Can you go back to the point where he's actually like, yeah, there you go. Go back right there. Show his face. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Stop it. Yeah. Okay. So here's Tim, right? He's turned in, he's created this whole situation. He's turned in Cassian because he thinks he's jealous of what's going on with Bix.
Right.
Now, he sees they've got Bix stopped. They are now pulling out weapons and guns. They are telling him to stop. What does Tim do? Go ahead.
He doesn't stop. No. Keep going, Tim.
Yep.
Now now get a really mad look on your face and aggressively walk toward the platoon with guns trained on you. Yep. Yes, now start running. Now run at them.
Just committed suicide. Now, this is a downvote as well.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get that there was this strong, deep connection between Tim and Bix anyways.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I thought they were just like casual Tinder hookups that he's jealous of, you know?
And no way, shape, or form he would commit suicide. So the writers just needed to get rid of this dude. This is just a getting rid of Tim moment.
Right. So that Cassian and Bix can hook up.
Or go on adventure together somehow.
Right. Whatever it is. That's the new love interest. And you can't leave him on the planet because then the accusation would be that, well, Bix has a boyfriend.
Right. Yeah. People will be thinking about that situation. Now, Bix's response to this killing is way over the top.
There's no way. M's.
We never got the impression that she had this sort of much feeling about him. And maybe we didn't get to see enough of her, but it's just a little over the top.
Right. So, boom, got him. Tim M. Tim M. No, Tim M.
You saw what was coming, Tim. You knew they had guns, buddy.
Tim's an idiot. like
Tim is an idiot. That's what I wrote down. My exact words. Tim is an idiot. Jeez. Charge dudes with guns. It's obvious the writers needed him gone.
Yeah, what are you going to accomplish there, man?
Now, this next thing is hilarious.
There's two of them. Two
Right.
double cheeseburgers. Sorry.
He says here, he said, the soldier says there's two of them. And what he says next is hilarious. He says, we're under siege. They're everywhere. Right. And I think it's hilarious, right? Because it just shows what bumbling idiots these guys are. What did you call them? What was their
the Goober Squad, bro?
The Goober Squad. They absolutely are the Goober Squad. And they are no match for Luthen and Cassian.
We'll split up, take positions, pick them off as they come through. And then we go to Carl's Jr.
Or an all-you-can-eat buffet, whatever is first.
You guys like Golden Harvest? I'm down for some Golden Harvest. I think there's a Sizzler around the corner. This guy is getting winded going up the stairs.
Oh, this is great. This guy is like, I'm going to hide. And I'm going to be the reason why this entire plan fails.
Hello?
Because he's so jacked up. Oh, they didn't show over. Okay, in a second, we'll see it. Closes the door a little bit. Okay, I'll see him when he's coming. Back to B2 Emo. Now, this is funny because Maarva's telling him, because they're listening to the sounds of the clanking, right? And she's like, no, you need to worry when they stop clanking. And it's like, it got him like totally spooked. Like she totally spooked these guys, like security guys hanging out in her house. The whole situation, the police have been totally like spooked by what's going on.
Another cheeseburger Goober Squad brigade. Why is everyone except for the main guy so obese?
It's good times, man. Profitable time.
Yeah.
So this is great. So we missed the part when he first comes in the door. I guess when we were skipping. So stop. Mm-hmm. So when he first comes in the door, he basically assaults whoever's in there. This officer guy. Mm-hmm. Those two people run off and end up tipping off Cassian that something bad happened down that corridor, and that's why they went down here and put the gun to the back of his head.
Right.
So he was the cause of his own getting caught.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. Take off the comm. I'll kill him. Anyway.
Now, this guy's great.
What?
I mean, this is just the stupidity continues. Like, you didn't think that these people were going to, like, sabotage your vehicle as soon as you, like, left it.
Oh, right.
And he just tries to take off, right? And they've of course attached it to something heavy, and I'm not even sure what he was going to do, get up in the air about. They never really explained why he was taking off. But what happens when
why,
he gets
why does he continue to try to take off, Shane?
Because they're bumbling fools, like you said.
Like, does he think that if he pushes the gas harder, that maybe it'll get easier? Clearly, he's connected to something.
Right, yeah, and it really goes downhill for him fast. And the explosion that occurs as a result of this.
Oh my God, now he's stuck. What an idiot. Yeah. Oh my God, he's such an idiot.
Right, and then he's like, whoops, oh, I'm dead. And so what's funny is he's like, oh my God, they're behind us. Oh. Right? So it's immediately attributed to these two guys. Right. Oh, well, was that them?
Oh,
this is hilarious.
We're under siege.
It's like the sugar dumpling gang from
we're under siege, and I'm out of French fries. We need French fries stat.
They're everywhere.
Oh my God. Their boss is out.
So Cassian, so here's the deal. Cassian, I love this. He murders the other two guys earlier, right? Or at least murders one of them. And he leaves this guy here. Now all of a sudden Cassian cares. Like, I'm not going to kill
cares now.
People. So that's kind of like, actually, that's a downvote for me. He should have killed that guy, but apparently that character must have something to do with later in the show, or else we wouldn't be seeing so much of him.
He has plot armor. Yeah,
and so of course he had to just tie him up, but still, it could have been a better way. Could have made it look like Cassian killed him, hit him in the head with a rock or something, and then he left him there.
And they got away. Surprise, surprise.
Now, this is interesting because as they do this part, we're getting flashbacks through this entire sequence.
Sorry, real quick. So, I'm going to show you guys a very good example of acting range. Ready? Skarsgård is a known acting genius. The guy is very, very talented. He understands this is how you pretend to do whatever you're doing and make it believable. Notice that they're on the speeder and he is squinting as they ride away. Notice that Cassian's eyes are literally wide open. I'm not saying he's that Cassian's a bad actor. What I'm saying is that he is certainly not at the level, at the very least, of Skarsgård, because like there's a clear difference here.
Well, and Kellen or Diego Luna is a pretty good actor actually, and it's who knows? It could have been the direction. Maybe somebody needed, he didn't think about it. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say it's bad acting. He should have gotten some direction here as well.
Yeah, somebody should have said, Diego, you're writing at breakneck speeds. You got to squint your eyes a little bit. You don't got goggles on, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Skarsgård knew it off the bat, though, without any direction. He understood.
He did, yeah.
Right.
Of course, we get our flashbacks with Maarva. She's remembering, sitting in the room that's been destroyed.
This is a long. This was tedious for me. I'm actually going to download this. A lot of unnecessary stuff. Like that's what makes these shows they're not very long. They're actually fairly short episodes, but they feel long because they keep breaking up the pace and injecting things that just slow everything down. It's like I said on the review yesterday. I feel like you're driving on the street and they keep tapping the brakes. They just keep randomly tapping the brakes. They're not stopping, but they're tapping the brakes, and slowing it down. It feels like it's almost like it's being edited out of order to the point where it's just the pacing's wrong because of it. But I'm not sure if that's intentional or not. So
it is intentional, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to evoke heavy emotion. So they're trying desperately to create an emotional connection, which I think they've successfully done. But by breaking up the action and doing it as cutting back and forth, it does slow it down. But I'm not sure how else you show Maarva, sad that what just happened.
I know.
And how?
At the end.
Well, no, they needed to end it the way they ended it. No. It had to end the way it ended.
So you'll see. So right before the ending. Like we had the same
right before the ending. This is the ending.
I mean, no, there's a couple more scenes. We had the same problem with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like when it was Obi-Wan fighting with Darth Vader, and they would randomly stop and show you a completely different character talking to someone, going back and forth, and it was so disjointed, and it slowed everything way down.
Right, but literally the next thing that they're going to do is leave. So I don't know if it's that important. There's no more action to happen. Like this is the slowing. This is the ending, and they're showing that Bix, which I believe this is an overreaction here. I don't think she was in love with this guy. They're now showing the reaction of everybody based on what happened here, and this is like they're holding her back. It's kind of weird. It wasn't her husband. It was just
no Tim. Yeah,
kind of weird.
Yeah, it also feels forced.
That's sad. I mean, I get this, right?
She's a young actress. You can tell she's still working. She has some growing to do in that department.
That's not her fault.
I'm not saying it's her fault, but it feels overacted. I'm not saying it's her fault.
No. I mean, it's okay.
You're saying that was the direction they gave her.
Listen, when an actor doesn't do their job, it's not the actor's fault. It's 100% the director, whoever's shooting the scene, saying, we need another take. That's not going to work. So it's not the actress's fault ever, or the actor's fault. They just chose for her to be overly emotional about this character that we didn't believe.
So you're saying that when Cassius is like on the speeder like this. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's fair. That's fair.
That's their scene. They got to make sure they get what they came for.
Especially when you're looking at the seasoned actor behind him like this. Right? You're like, you think that the guy's like, you know what? I think we need to shoot that again real quick.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. One more time. And this time squint a bit.
Yeah.
And this guy, he obviously cares about his friend. It's nice to just see this moment of kind of solace. Gorgeous imagery here. This is how these planets look in Star Wars. I love how the speeder's kind of just coasting across all of it.
Yeah, it's super rad.
Does need to close his eyes a bit.
He does. It's like they're like wide open, bro.
really does need to do that.
Like we know that, we know it's on a green screen. You're not actually riding a bike. We get that, right?
Yeah.
But your eyes are literally like I feel like he's looking into my soul.
This looks like it could be some like hydroponic farming or something.
Yeah,
like
it's super cool. Actually, that's chemical farming, and we actually do that in the United States. In Utah and the Sierra Nevada, we have very, very similar fields like this, and it's for they grind up certain minerals and stone, and they wash it out, and they let the water settle until it drops the chemical at the bottom as the water evaporates, and they scoop it up and they refine it. That's called chemical farming.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I wanted a double cheeseburger animal style, and I didn't get it.
So this officer is shell shocked. I'm not 100% sure why.
Yeah, why?
He's obviously like disappointed. I don't know. I mean, was the explosion right next to his face? I don't think so. So I guess that's important for later, I'm guessing.
No, yeah, it's
We
because he's a
get to
puss.
Luthen ship.
Yeah, you know what? This cage up here looks familiar.
Looks familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that. I
Millennium
love the
Falcon.
visuals, man. This almost looks like a proto Millennium Falcon.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Smaller. Okay, so now Maarva caring for in the flashback.
I'm
the
sorry,
boy.
real quick. Also, even the interior looks like it too.
It does, yeah. They did a really good job with that.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks like one of the pods that they would fire guns out of.
Right, yeah.
It's perfect. And so they keep doing these flashbacks. I think this is incredibly important to what they're trying to get across. At one point, Cassian was saved by Maarva when he was a boy. And now Cassian is also being saved by Luthen. And I think that's what they wanted to show here. The boy wakes up, he sees Maarva piloting away, and we're going to see Cassian, same thing, watching Luthen piloting away. And he's having this internal moment where he feels like his life is almost beyond his control. It is out of his direction, and he's being taken somewhere for a purpose that he is not yet aware of.
Mm.
And this has now happened twice to him. And I think that's why it was important that they did the flashbacks in combination with what was happening currently.
Yeah. And you know what? Your explanation is just earning this an upvote.
Hey, awesome. I'll take an upvote too.
I didn't catch that, by the way. I didn't catch that. I saw that there was, from an editing perspective, that they were showing the two events and how similar they were, and I thought that was cool. But I didn't really put the pieces together where it was like, he's once again not really in control of his destination, which is interesting.
Right. He's destined to be a rebel. He's destined to be a rebel without really any choice of his own.
He's destined to die for those Death Star plans.
So this is going to get a low for us, but I still think it's the best of the 3 episodes.
Yeah, I think the reason it got a low score is because there were a couple downvotes and there wasn't a lot of like upvotable moments. And I'm not upvoting the scenery anymore. I'm not upvoting that kind of stuff anymore because we already uploaded that to death. So, upvoted to death. So it's not going to be getting like the free upvotes anymore. So now it's going to be specifically on the moments themselves. And so it's harder to get points after the first episode. It's harder to get points for us.
Yeah, and I think the episode was okay. I definitely Stellan adds a whole new element to it. Understanding where the show is going from here is a little bit more optimistic for me to look forward to, because now we're going to really learn about the rebel cause, how it starts. And that's something that was important. I mean, as we know, Leia is, part of the Rebel Alliance, and this is going to be a really great way to kind of get to check out that whole part of Star Wars, which we really don't know anything about.
Right.
And I hope Andor picks up the pace, gets a little more exciting, a little more interesting. We got to speed it up now, guys. We've done the world building. Cool. Now we need to speed it up. So Tony Gilroy, let's pull it together, buddy. Episode 4 needs to be a little more fast paced.
Yeah. Episode 4 needs to have a little bit of levity and a little bit of action.
There's not going to be any levity in the show.
There's got to be a little levity.
You got to get rid of it. You will not. This is not going to be a funny, entertaining show.
So no levity at all.
You might get very minimal levity. So far in 3 episodes, we've had essentially no levity, unless you count the time when he's like haggling for the price of getting his ship going. I think that's about as far as the levity is going to go.
Yeah, but the thing about levity, bro, is I'm not asking for like, slapstick humor, but you need levity to build chemistry between characters too. Like,
well, there was levity. Okay, I guess your version of levity. So the communication he has between him and Brasso, where he tells him, you need to basically cover for me.
There's a little levity there, yeah.
Like that amount of levity, yes, we're gonna get. But I doubt there'll be any like moments of laughter and joy, and at least not until the rebels do so. I mean, because these are oppressed people fighting against oppression, and I don't know if the tone would work.
Okay, that's fair. All right, well, let us know what you guys think. Our official score is basically 0. This episode didn't cost the franchise anything, and also didn't make them anything as far as our score is concerned. For reference, if you missed the first couple of reviews, the first episode got a plus 2. It made 2. And the second one was a -4, I believe, which means that the overall net for this show so far is -2, and this episode didn't move the needle on that yet. But,
I do think your scores have been a little more negative than mine.
Yeah, because I am a lot more hard on pacing, and you know that.
Right.
Pacing for me is a big deal. Maybe it's because I'm an editor and like I'm sitting there just like waiting for the scene to change, and I'm like, oh, come on, what's going on?
Right.
I get this feeling in my stomach when I see editing that's slow or poorly done. And I can't get away from it. It's like it's like a pit in my stomach, and it bothers me. And equally, when I see really good editing, like some of the shots from Strange New Worlds, you remember some of those transition scenes that they did,
right?
Where I'm like, that is outstanding, and I get a good feeling about it. So when I watch something, I immediately have an actual like feeling in my stomach when it's good or bad based on the pacing. So pacing really is pretty important to me.
Okay, that's interesting. I will say, if I'm going to rank this show, I would say it's better than Kenobi, but not as good as The Mandalorian.
I completely agree. This show is better than Kenobi, like honestly, much better than Kenobi, in my opinion, because Kenobi actively frustrated me. This isn't frustrating me. It's not. It's just the pacing's slow. The characters aren't bothering me yet.
Right.
Kenobi did eventually actively frustrate me, and decisions they made no sense. And by the way, there was levity this episode with all the goobers.
Oh, well, it's our own internal levity, but yes.
But for me, it was levity. I was like, look at this idiot. Look at this idiot. Yeah. So the thing is, yes, better than better than Obi-Wan Kenobi, not as good as The Mandalorian. And I would say better than half of Boba Fett.
That's fair, I guess. The first several episodes of Boba Fett I really liked. Once it became Mandalorian Part 2, then yes. Because The Mandalorian like took over Boba Fett.
Right. I feel the same way.
And I'm like, at that point, I'm like, because I love the stuff in the Sand People and the like getting the Boba Fett story from the moment the Sarlacc pit,
I
spit him back out.
I like the first couple episodes of Obi-Wan a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Boba Fett. All right.
Boba Fett.
Let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. On the way to the comment section, To give us your opinions on this series and this episode in particular, please hit the subscribe button, the like button, the bell button, all the little buttons. And may the Force be with you.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.